Did you know that 90% of millionaires didn't inherit their wealth? They built it from scratch. The shocking truth is that most wealthy people didn't win the lottery, and they didn't have some secret lucky break. They simply learned how to think, act, and live differently from the rest of us. Here's another eye-opener. A study by Deloitte shows that 44% of millionaires earn money from at least 3 different sources. That's right, multiple streams of income. If you want to join the ranks of the wealthy, you can't just rely on a 9-to-5 job. In this video, I'm going to share the exact strategies that I learned from reading 200 books on money and wealth building. You'll discover how the rich think, how they live, and most importantly, how they teach their children to continue growing their wealth for generations. You'll also learn how they network and build relationships that lead to opportunities you probably never thought of. I'm about to reveal 6 game-changing chapters that could shift your mindset forever. Stay tuned, because if you want to get rich, it's time to start thinking, living, and acting like the wealthy. Ready? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Money Mindset Reset. How rich people are born into abundance. When it comes to wealth, it's not just about the money, it's about the mindset. One of the first things I learned from the books I read was that wealthy people think differently. They view the world through a lens of abundance, not scarcity. It's not about having less, it's about seeing more opportunities. Studies have shown that mindset is a key predictor of success. In fact, 90% of self-made millionaires say that their financial success came from a shift in their thinking. Many rich people didn't inherit wealth, but they did inherit a mindset. They're not afraid to fail, and they embrace risk. They see challenges as stepping stones, not obstacles. This is called the growth mindset, a concept coined by psychologist Carol Dweck. People with a growth mindset believe they can learn anything and adapt. It's why rich people are always growing, learning, and innovating. Wealthy individuals tend to focus on long-term goals, not immediate rewards. They're not distracted by short-term pleasure. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men alive, has said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." That's the essence of thinking like the rich. It's about delayed gratification. The wealthy also avoid negative thinking. They don't let fear hold them back. Research from the University of California shows that fear of failure is a major barrier to wealth. Rich people face their fears and take calculated risks. They don't see failure as final, they see it as a lesson. And lessons are essential for growth. In a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research, researchers found that individuals who think more positively about money tend to accumulate more wealth over time. That's because their focus is on opportunities rather than limitations. This is why the first step to becoming wealthy is reshaping your mindset. Chapter 2. Life Beyond the 9-5. How the rich live outside conventional norms. The wealthy don't live by the traditional rules. They've broken free from the 9-5 grind. Instead of working hard for money, they make money work for them. They invest in assets that generate passive income. This means real estate, stocks, or businesses that run without their constant input. The idea is simple: work smarter, not harder. One of the core strategies of the rich is their approach to time. Time is their most valuable resource, and they guard it fiercely. Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Group, says, "Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time." The rich understand that their time is better spent on activities that create wealth, not just making ends meet. A key element of this lifestyle is delegation. Billionaire investors like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos know that they can't do everything themselves. They surround themselves with smart, capable people who can execute their vision. In fact, Musk has said that if you're doing a task that someone else could do for you, you're doing it wrong. Most rich people also create multiple streams of income. The idea is that if one income stream dries up, others are still flowing. A report from Deloitte found that 44% of millionaires earn income from at least 3 different sources. This diversity helps them build wealth even during economic downturns. The rich also understand the importance of financial independence. They don't rely on a paycheck to sustain their lifestyle. Instead, they create a life where their investments fund their dreams. This allows them to enjoy freedom, whether it's traveling, pursuing passions, or spending time with family. Their financial independence is not just about money, it's about having the time and freedom to live life on their own terms. This is the ultimate goal: financial freedom and the time to enjoy it. Chapter 3. Learning to think like a billionaire. The secret school of the wealthy. Learning isn't something the rich do just in their younger years, it's a lifelong pursuit. The wealthiest people in the world never stop learning. They spend hours each day reading, listening to podcasts, or attending seminars. Bill Gates reads about 50 books every year. Warren Buffett spends 80% of his day reading. Why? Because they know that the more they know, the more they grow. But it's not just about accumulating knowledge. It's about how they learn. The rich are experts at learning in ways that lead to action. They use mental models, frameworks that help them understand complex situations. For example, they use models like first principles thinking, breaking things down to their basic truths, or inversion, figuring out how to avoid failure. These models allow them to make smarter, faster decisions. In his book The Intelligent Investor, Benjamin Graham says, the investor's chief problem, and even his worst enemy, is likely to be himself. This is why the rich focus on emotional control. They train their minds to avoid panic during market crashes, just as they train themselves to avoid overconfidence during market highs. Mental discipline is one of the pillars of their success. Another interesting fact is that rich people often seek mentors. Instead of going it alone, they surround themselves with people who have already achieved what they want. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, emphasizes this in his teachings. He advises young entrepreneurs to find mentors who can guide them. The rich are also not afraid of mistakes, they learn from them quickly. In fact, they expect to fail along the way. Michael Jordan once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times, I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed." The difference is that the wealthy see failure as part of the learning process. Lastly, the rich understand the value of networking and knowledge sharing. They don't keep their lessons to themselves. They openly share ideas, strategies, and insights with others who can benefit. This creates a cycle of growth, not just for them but for those around them as well. They understand that learning is not a solitary activity, it's a community effort. If you're finding these strategies helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. We'll be diving deeper into how you can use these methods to change your financial future. Chapter 4. Teaching Wealth to Future Generations. The unspoken secrets. Wealthy families understand that passing down wealth isn't just about handing over money. It's about teaching future generations the principles of financial independence. Rich parents don't spoil their children with gifts, they empower them with knowledge. In fact, 70% of wealthy families lose their wealth by the second generation, according to a study from the Williams Group. So, what sets the successful ones apart? The rich teach their children the importance of working for money, but also how to make money work for them. One example is how the Walton family, founders of Walmart, instills business and investment values in their children. They teach their kids to invest in assets like real estate and businesses, not just spend. This way, wealth continues to grow rather than shrink. In The Millionaire Next Door, Thomas Stanley highlights how many wealthy individuals grow up with parents who are frugal and focused on financial education. The parents teach them about budgeting, saving, and investing early on. This kind of hands-on financial education builds a foundation that lasts. Wealthy parents also teach their children how to think critically about money. Instead of simply buying them expensive items, they ask, "How can you earn this yourself?" This instills the idea that money is a tool to be earned, not something that just magically appears. The goal is to create self-sufficiency, not dependency. Another strategy wealthy families use is involving their children in business decisions. By the time they're teenagers, many rich kids have already started side businesses, learning about profits, losses, and scaling operations. This experience teaches them how to approach business as an opportunity for growth rather than just work. The rich also emphasize the importance of networking. They encourage their children to build relationships with like-minded individuals and mentors. These connections, as we'll see later, often lead to business opportunities that would be hard to find otherwise. Networking is one of the most valuable skills you can pass down. Lastly, wealthy families teach the value of patience. They explain that wealth isn't built overnight. It takes time, effort, and strategic decisions. This mindset keeps the younger generation focused on long-term wealth rather than instant gratification. Chapter 5. The Millionaire's Brain. How the rich think differently about money. How the rich think about money as a game changer. They don't view money the same way most people do. They see it as a tool to create more opportunities, not as the ultimate goal. One key difference is that the wealthy focus on investing rather than spending. They know that wealth grows when you put money into assets, not liabilities. In The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel points out that wealth isn't just about income, it's about how much you keep and how well you manage it. This is a big shift from the average person who is focused on earning more without paying attention to what they do with their money. The rich understand that building wealth is a long-term game. Rich people are also skilled at managing their emotions. Fear and greed can cloud judgment, but the wealthy stay calm and make decisions based on logic. They are less likely to panic during a market crash or get overly excited during a market boom. In fact, studies show that investors who manage their emotions outperform those who let them take control. The wealthy also have a high tolerance for risk, but it's calculated risk. They're not reckless, but they're not afraid to make bold moves. Take Elon Musk, for example. He invested nearly all of his money into SpaceX and Tesla, both companies that were considered highly risky at the time. But he believed in his vision, and it paid off. Rich people don't just save money, they create systems to grow it. They understand the power of compound interest, and they make sure their money works for them. Albert Einstein famously called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. When you understand this principle, your wealth can grow exponentially. Another unique trait of the wealthy is their ability to delay gratification. They are willing to sacrifice short-term comforts for long-term financial success. This is why they often live below their means, invest heavily, and avoid lifestyle inflation. This mentality allows them to keep accumulating wealth. The rich also take a broader view of their financial picture. Instead of thinking about their salary, they think about their net worth. They understand the importance of diversifying their assets and creating multiple income streams. Diversification helps protect them from market volatility and economic downturns. Chapter 6. The Wealth Web. How the rich network for success. Networking is not just about exchanging business cards. It's about building a web of relationships that create opportunities for growth. Wealthy individuals understand that the people they know can be just as valuable as the knowledge they have. They invest time and effort into building strong connections, and those connections often open doors to wealth-building opportunities. One powerful way the wealthy network is through exclusive groups. Billionaires often belong to small, high-level networks where they can share ideas, opportunities, and resources. In the networked economy, research shows that the wealthiest people have far more strong ties, close, personal relationships, than the average person. These ties give them access to insider knowledge and unique investment opportunities. The rich also understand the importance of mentorship. Instead of learning everything on their own, they seek out those who have already succeeded. Warren Buffett, for example, attributes much of his success to his mentor, Benjamin Graham. Having a mentor accelerates learning and opens up new pathways to success. Another strategy for building wealth through networking is strategic partnerships. Rich people don't just seek out people with similar interests. They seek out people who can help them achieve their goals. Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs formed strategic partnerships that helped fuel the success of Facebook and Apple. Networking isn't just for business, though. It's also about personal relationships. The rich often form friendships with other successful individuals, and these relationships can lead to collaborations or new ventures. As Robert Kiyosaki says in Rich Dad Poor Dad, the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. But the most important aspect of networking for the wealthy is giving. They don't just take from others, they add value to their connections. By offering help, advice, or resources, they build goodwill that can be repaid in unexpected ways. As Keith Ferrazzi writes in Never Eat Alone, the currency of real networking is not greed but generosity. In the end, the wealthy see networking as a long-term investment. They understand that building relationships takes time, but the rewards are invaluable. A strong network can provide access to business deals, investment opportunities, and the kind of knowledge that accelerates wealth creation. If these networking strategies inspired you, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more tips on how to build wealth through powerful relationships and smart decision-making.